Putting those two names together can jumpstart a host of feelings and memories through Tuscaloosa and Baton Rouge. Moments of frustration, disbelief, and jubilation due to the battles that these two have had. From national championship games to season derailments, this rivalry has had it all, and we've got even more for you today. Welcome to the home of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. As we'll see a team looking to make it back to the CFP this year, the LSU Tigers, taking on the runner-up from last year's national championship, the Alabama Crimson Tide. 48 Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. Alabama about to kick off to get things started. And he's not going to take the touchback. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. To the ground with the back. There he goes. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down.
This guy strikes fears into the hearts of every defensive coordinator, David, with that speed. If you give this guy any open grass, man, he's gone.
It's just silly. Look at the angles, people trying to catch him, but he's got so much juice. He can outrun those angles and make enormous plays.
Send the tight end in motion. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. And the defense snows him under after a very short gain. This series dates back to 1895. One of the odd things, guys, is historically the visiting teams have had a lot of success.
And these fans don't like each other. Man, you can feel the hate, the hostility. Both programs so talented, recruited at a high level. These teams have even rematched for a national championship before, Palmer. These two teams are ballers.
And this is a game, too, David, that everybody circles on the calendar at the start of the season. We all know that conference championship, national championship, Heisman Trophy implications are on the line. And the intensity level in this game, it's simply unmatched in college football.
And the Tigers will snap it on 1st and 10. The corners are walked up tight. Running back searching for a hole.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
Second down. Looks as if he's going to run it. How about this sophomore stopping him short of the first down line?
Let's see if this offense can answer the bell. Their coaches challenged them all week long. When they got down to the red zone, we've got to be able to run the football because we're going up against a top 10 Russian defense. Let's see if they can step up here and get it done.
Third down, red zone play. Crowd alive. Fires to the wideout. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's 4th down.
Oh, those are those opportunities in the game. You got a chance to take points off the board, make a big play, and you just couldn't squeeze the interception. That's one of those plays coaches come back to, talk about, say, think if we get this pick and we start taking this the other direction.
Picked off, and the opening drive is stopped with an interception.
And I know this defense statistically hasn't been one of the best against the pass this year, but they have had some guys banged up. They believe they've got difference makers on the back end that just need to make more plays. That DB right there is one of those guys, and he doesn't here on the opening drive getting a huge interception.
The Crimson Tide been deep in their own end trying to find a little breathing room. They'll go to the ground. Not much working there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And listen, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. This is a top 10 defense against the run. You know they're physical. You know who they are. But you're not going to bat an eye. And you're going to challenge your guys, especially in the red zone, to be more physical, to be able to continue to run the football against a really good defense.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Got his man. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
And listen, I know that wasn't a huge gain. It was positive, but I like doing more of that in today's college football. I'm just going to try to give my playmakers a chance to do damage in space away from all the big boys inside.
Out of the shotgun on 3rd down. It's complete to the left. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the 1st down.
Well, after getting that takeaway, this offense is needing some points, and that's a big completion there on 3rd down. Good job reading the coverage. The offense is going to stay on the field. They want to keep this momentum going, and that last completion, that was big.
Off play action on 1st down. And he is snowed under. Sacked at the 7.
Oftentimes with play action, you're asking the quarterback to hold on to the ball a bit longer, and you're asking this offensive line to hold up in pass pro a bit longer. Against this athletic front 7 on defense, it's going to be tough.
Grabbed in the middle. It's Bryant. Breaks into the open. And they pick up a better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down.
And that's a good lesson for quarterbacks out there. When you're throwing to your running backs, if you get it to them early and they've got some space around them, they can do damage. And that's exactly what happened there. These guys are trained to be great once they have the ball in their hands. He makes people miss. He shows you the speed, and it's a big chunk play in the pass game.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass on 2nd down. Got his man quickly. Oh, the speed, the acceleration, the elusiveness, and he's down to the 43.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly, and that's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
On 3rd and short, the run, and looking for the 1st down.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Boy, if they don't convert this 4th down, there will be questions to be answered. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Caught over the middle. It's Meadows.
Wow, and that was just a bang-bang play. On that 4th down, the coverage was tight. QB had his receiver. He knew where he wanted to go with it, but the only way that ball gets completed is if he puts a little extra mustard on it, and he shows you the arm talent on the throw.
Throws for the tight end. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them.
Really early in this game, you're seeing the ball hawks on both sides of the ball. Interception on the first drive of the game, and now they come out, and this defense gets a pick in return. There are a lot of dudes in the back end with speed, with the ability to close. What a phenomenal...
Got room on the return. Got the 1st down and more. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. LSU doing what it always does when they're really good, moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, trying to find that physical. They get so many great players across the country. LSU has the pick of people in Louisiana. Everybody wants to come there, and you can tell they always find great talent, and they're always able to run the football.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Looking for space. It's Hatchett. And a really short game before he gets a whole bunch of company from the defense.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. A lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
On third and short, they'll try to throw for it. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Yeah, I like the aggressiveness on third and short, trying to throw the football, take advantage of a look that they got. They weren't successful, and now it's 4th and short territory. Who knows what they're going to do?
So the offense is going to go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. Big tight end makes the grab. It's a 1st down. How about the zip this junior put on that ball to pick up the 1st down?
And they're showing you their intentions early in the game. It's 4th down. You're in your own end. We're going to be aggressive, and we're not just going to do this early. We're going to do this all game long. Awesome execution on a critical down.
With the catch, it's Hatchett.
Early in the game as a DB, I'm settling in. It's okay if I give up 4, 6, 7 yards. I'm just trying to get settled in, gauge the speed, and then later on, I can adjust to the speed of the game.
The give on the inside. They knock him down, but he's got enough to get it across the line and pick up the 1st down. And that's good enough for a 1st down. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Defense showing plenty of pre-snap movement of their own. We've reached the end of the 1st quarter, and it has been a defensive battle, and the stats tell the tale so far. Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm here in the 2nd. First play of the period, 1st down here. They're going to ride this running back. Turning it on. He's finally shoved out of bounds at the 23-yard line, and a big pickup on that one.
Well, right away after picking up the 1st down, they go right back to their playmaker at running back. And I love the push they got up front, getting a hat on a hat, opening a huge hole for the back.
And you become so hard to defend when you can run the football successfully on 1st down. You're starting like that. Now what opens up? Play action. Now you're making me play pass and run. This offense, if they can create that run physicality, now it opens up everything else.
Well, the offense is running towards the open grass, right? They're going toss play to the field, but way too much penetration defensively, forcing that tackle for loss.
Got some work to do after that last play. 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Now rolling to the left. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And I like what the quarterback did to finish the run. He buys a little bit of time, scrambles out to his left, and as a right-handed quarterback, you really understand you got to square those shoulders while you're running, which can be difficult if you want to throw an accurate throw like he did right there.
The Tide crowd rolling noise down onto Saban Field on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the big fella. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the 1st down.
That's just a very easy, comfortable throw for the quarterback. He knows he has his big target, tight end, running across the field on the drag. Nice play.
4th down, and this crowd is making it miserable on this offense. try to throw and pick up the first down. Just as he throws, it's incomplete, and they stop him on fourth down.
Well, they're unable to come up with that one on fourth down. I remember this as a player. You practice specific plays on fourth down for those types of situations, and you know all week against the scout team, they've gotten really clean looks, easy to execute against. They didn't get a clean look that time, so you chalk it up to the defense and take note of it next time. You might not run that play again if you're in a similar situation.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. From the gun, running back gets the give. Got it across the 20 and out to the 23, a pickup of 4. So what do they have for third and short from their own 23? From the gun, wants to pass. Here comes the heat. Finds a tight end down the gut. They'll get it to the 48. No need to measure. It's a first down.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
The whole point of running the quarterback on these designed runs is to get an extra blocker. You should be getting more movement up front, but that time, guys were getting knocked backwards, and as a result, they actually lost it.
And that pass will be jarred loose on second down. That brings up third down.
Well, that looked like it was going to be a completion, but how about the defender making the hit and forcing the incompletion?
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to the big tight end. Another incompletion on third down.
Yeah, just not able to connect that time with his target on the in-breaking route. Got to have a little bit better rhythm. You know these windows are going to be small over the middle of the field, and that's why you try to put some extra mustard on it, but I think that time that's what forced the incomplete.
Can you believe this? The offense is going for it on fourth down. Under fire. Hit as he throws. And the incomplete pass turns it over in their own end.
Well, I knew the coach was confident in his offense. I did not know he was that confident this early in the game. Fourth and long. I thought he'd just punt that one away and let his defense take the field. Interesting.
Give to the running back. And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front?
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
They got nothing on the last play at 2nd and 10. Linebackers trying to create some confusion. Second down, he'll throw it. Flushed out of the pocket. Unleashes one. A lot of defenders around on that screen. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
Man, the offense got away with one there. That was supposed to be a running back screen. Instead, the quarterback threw it somewhere else, and with all the offensive line running way down the field, they're lucky that wasn't a penalty.
Takes the handoff. It's Hatchett. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And those body blows really, really matter. Like, I want to be able to hand the ball off to my running back 10, 15 times a game. Make the defense tackle them, wear them out. Sometimes these 3 to 4 yard runs, later in football games, they turn into 5 to 15 to 20 yard gains just because of the body blow effect.
Grabbed behind the line. It's Hatchett. And that did not work. Defense smelled that one out from the beginning. We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Intercepted. A first-half turnover can swing momentum. Good gain on the return, and this defense has set them up with a big play.
And another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, you better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent. He's making bad decisions.
Right back to the air on 2nd and 10. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Man, if you're going to win games, you have got to hit on the home run type plays, and that was a great opportunity right there. The receiver has got to be able to look that football in and make the catch.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. The sure hands, it's Bryant. Knocked out of bounds after a good gain on that one. They'll spot it at the 43.
And this is why checkdowns are so big. There's a lot of quarterbacks in these types of situations on 3rd down. They just want to make the home run highlight type throw. But a nice job being poised and making a good decision, checking it down to the running back here to help your offense out.
And that's not the way they drew it up. It's incomplete.
And I think a big reason this offense is struggling right now and why they're trailing on the scoreboard is they have not been able to protect this guy, and it's affected him. He has not looked very accurate. Moving forward, the pass pro has got to be better to help this guy out.
After the incompletion, back to the passing game. That's caught. It's Buchanan. Bust through behind his pad. He goes out of bounds across the 25, mark it at the 24. This defense, its head is spinning.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
It's hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anyway.
Going to swing it on 2nd down. Makes the catch. It's Smith. And a good job of coverage by that defense. Just a short pickup.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands. Get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Just outside the red zone at the 21, but it's 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the right. He caught it, and he will score. Touchdown tie.
And the offense breaks the tie, takes the lead, gains some momentum. How big is this, Palmer, now? Going into the half with the lead, with the momentum.
Well, they break the tie, but they also break their confidence a little bit now. The opponent now has to go into the locker room probably down, and they're wondering, what adjustments do we have to make? What do we have to fix? Because we've got our work cut out for us in this game.
And he'll bring it out of the end zone. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. They'll start this drive going to the air. Makes the grab. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's 1st down. LSU right back to the line. Wants to go up top on 1st down. And here comes the heat, and they get home, and they get him at the 21. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. The Tigers trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. To the air on 2nd down. Buys a little time with his feet. Now he's looking into the middle. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
Timeout called here by the defense. It's the first one they've used this half. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Unloads to the wideout. Another incompletion on third down.
Third and long situations are really hard to convert. The defense knows it's going to be passed. The pass rushers are getting upfield. You're under pressure. You don't have timing. And as a result now, fourth down.
Punt is in the air. Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. Final seconds of the first half. Let's see if they can pull off a little magic. Might be calling a hot route. Looking downfield on first down. Unloads to the right. Pulls it in. Steps out at the 34-yard line. Big pickup on that one in this offense within striking distance.
And that was awesome by the offense. Good completion, great awareness by the receiver getting out of bounds. If you're on offense now, jog off the field, get the field goal kicker out there. You're going to steal 3 points at the end of the half.
No good. And the margin is still 7 after the miss, guys. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. LSU ready to boot it away and open this second half. He'll bring it out. It's Hurst. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. They had this lead to start the third quarter because of the passing game. Didn't get a lot done on the ground.
They did, but the quarterback is in a rhythm. That was obvious in the first half. And so this first drive, you want to continue that. You want to see good decision-making. You want to see him playing on time. And as always, delivering the football with confidence.
I mean, I don't know how I don't give him the football. It's the reason I built the lead. He's the guy that I can trust. This offense is built around him. So I expect more of the same here in the second half.
And that's why QBs love their tight ends so much, right? Especially when they're athletic, because they make short throws turn into long gains. Because of his ability after the catch, it's so unique and special. He is dominant in this offense.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
From the gun, running back on the move. Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
The Crimson Tide needs to convert on third and short. Throws to the tight end. Finds a man on the right. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
Well, in that down and distance, the quarterback's got to get rid of it so quickly, right? He knows the defense is going to be bearing down on him, so a nice job catching the gun snap and then turning and pivoting, getting it out of his hands quickly and accurately to pick up the first.
Wants to throw on first down. Throws for the tight end. Just a little bit too much juice on that one as the freshman was taking a shot.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
Handoff from the gun. Oh, he's got some space. They'll finally get him on the ground, but not before he makes it to the 30 and gets a first down.
This is going to be a big key for him, David, with the lead here in the second half, running the football, right? Staying on the field and bleeding the clock.
Yeah, run the football. You're ahead. You can be a little bit more conservative. But again, this opens up the pass. This keeps everything in balance for this offense.
A run for the quarterback. Fighting off the defender. Not a lot going on there. Picked up a couple.
And you can tell the QB wants to run. He's going to be a big part of the game plan. And the defense really, really understands that. I got to understand. And more importantly, when I get a lick on this cat, I got to take it. Like, not dirty, not cheap shots, but end of the plays, when I can be physical and really make him feel me, I think that'll always bode well in a fourth quarter game.
Looking to fire. Got it. And he was dying to push his way in there, but he's knocked down at the 3. On first and goal, let's see if Alabama can get it in the end zone. Now on the move. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Bama! Now they have extended this lead, guys, starting to put the hammer, but sometimes a rivalry game can give you a little of extra fight back.
And there can be no panic at this point now. You've worked too hard this offseason, David. They've had this game circled for so long. You've got to play your best football right now and fight back.
And you just need something good to happen on this next possession. You got to get the crowd back into this football game. Big rivalry. Get some emotion. Get some momentum on your side.
Can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
See if they can turn this drive into points. They've got it first and 10 at the 50. To the air on first down. Makes the grab. Stopped after a good pickup, and he'll be just a tad short of the first down.
And I think this receiver's forte is his route running. He's a guy that can line up all over the field, but it's not just catching post routes and goes. This guy can run shallows, he can run slants, he can run the option routes and find soft spots in the defense. This guy really has all the routes in his toolbox.
Just what this offense was looking for. Sets him up at the 26 with the first down.
Well, I know the tight end did some good things after the catch, but got to give the quarterback credit, too, for the location of the throw. Because he put it out in front of his big man, he was able to make the catch and accelerate, creating some distance there between him and the defense.
Looking to throw on first down. It's on target and complete. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line.
You got to give the O-line a lot of credit there because it gave the receiver time to work all the way across the field on the drag route against zone coverage. Quarterback gets it to him. He's able to turn it up and get a first down.
This offense hasn't found the end zone yet. Starting to move. It's first and 10. Pressure coming. And he just flat missed him. Sometimes you see a guy, he's open, and you try to baby it too much, and it was a bad throw.
This is a top 25 defense, guys. One of the best units in the entire country. They're so good situationally, and they understand the importance of getting leads early, making the offense predictable, having to throw in these types of situations so they can adjust accordingly. And
he throws another interception, his third of the night. Takes it back to the 26-yard line as they come up with a big interception there.
Not all DBs DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position, but they don't really secure the football. Great job by the DB securing the football and forcing the turnover.
Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard.
I think one of the keys to this defense's success all season has been how good they've been stopping the run. They're a top 10 unit when it comes to rushing defense, and it's helped them out this year down in the red zone.
Forges ahead, picks up about 3 to the 29.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires it. It's picked off. 13th time he's done that this year. He couldn't quite get loose on that return, but he'd already made the play, and they've got it at the 35.
You want to talk about versatility at the linebacker spot, and this guy is it. He had 2 interceptions in his last game. That's his first pick in this one. He's good stopping the run. He can go sideline to sideline. He can blitz. He can spy. And, man, he is really good in coverage.
And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
He came into this year with big expectations. Everybody expecting him to stat it up. And now with that last completion, he's already over 2,000 yards passing for the season.
The Tigers can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Quickly out to the tight end. And his molars are probably rattling after that big hit, but he did get the 1st down.
And listen, I know he just got rocked, but he held onto the football and got the 1st down. So when he can get up, when he has the strength to get back up, nothing to be worried about. Nice play, nice catch. Don't worry about that big stick. I got the 1st down. Signal that thing for me and celebrate.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Finds his big tight end. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there.
I like the idea by the quarterback there. You're trying to get this 1st down, so you find the tight end, see if he can make a guy miss or shake a tackle. Not able to get it done.
Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Wants to fire on 2nd down. Quarterback strolling away from heat. And he's left with no option. He just threw it away.
Good decision by the QB. You're outside the pocket. You're trying to find an open target. No one's open. Throw it away and move the play another day.
One final play before the end of the quarter. They'll snap it from the gun on 3rd down. Using the quick game. They get him on the ground, and that'll be the final play of this 3rd period. We've reached a break, and Alabama has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the 4th. They'd love to start this quarter off with a touchdown right here. He's looking to pass. Here's the pressure. Trying to find the end zone. That completion will take it inside the 4, and the offense is threatening.
This is the area of the field defensively. It really doesn't matter what they've done to get here. You got to blow up, try to force the field goal. Nice job on 1st down and goal, getting them tackled to the ground.
They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. Might be looking to run. Trying to barrel in. That completion has them right on the doorstep. They'll mark it at the 1.
Well, short completion setting up 3rd down now. Who is your best playmaker that you can target in this area of the field?
They'd love to make this short field pay off with a touchdown instead of settling for 3, but it is 3rd and goal. Fires to the tight end. Absolutely nowhere to go as his defense makes a 3rd down stop. That leaves them with a tough fourth down situation. You'd love to just chip into the lead, but at this point, a touchdown's what you're after.
And I think it just clears up the decision-making later in the game. But I think you stay aggressive here. You try to get the touchdown. And you're not going to have very many opportunities like this left in this ball game in the fourth quarter.
He wants to throw it. Lets it fly. Touchdown, Tigers! Fired in from the red zone for the score.
How about the bomb by the offense? The Hail Mary, they go deep. The defense knows it's coming. Where are they? Where is the defense? You've got to stay as deep as the deepest and make sure this doesn't happen. The Hail Mary to success.
He'll try to tack on one more. And after the extra point, they've cut the lead in half, down 14-7. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, you could make a case this is the game of the week in the SEC. Vanderbilt is down big on the scoreboard, and for a program that traditionally struggles to score, I think we know where this one is heading. They're trailing by 25 to Auburn. Games like these just mean more in the SEC, and we'll circle back. If anything big happens, you should see.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final. Here comes that Alabama offense. And they've got a little bit of a cushion here, David. If they can add to it on this drive, it would be nice.
Yeah, it definitely makes a little bit of a difference. Knowing I'm up by more than a field goal, obviously, Jesse, my mindset switches, and I know I can't make mistakes.
Yeah, and David, I don't think they have to reinvent the wheel on offense here. What they've been calling has been working. Just get back to doing what you're good at.
The Crimson Tide could get very aggressive here on 2nd and inches. Wants to go up top. Got it behind the line. It's Bryant. The defense wouldn't let him loose, and even though it's a completion, they lost yardage. Alabama comes to the line on 3rd and short. Might be changing the route. They'll stick to the ground, looking for the marker. That is just the kind of run you want when you're trying to close out a game.
And that hurts on defense, giving up the first on the ground like that. We're in a one-possession game. You've got all 3 timeouts. I think you got to start burning them here to save some clock.
Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. They'll run it to keep this clock grinding.
This offense thinks that they have enough left in the tank here to run the football and run all the time off the clock. They got the lead late. Didn't get the first down on that last one, but it's not going to surprise anybody if they turn around and hand it off again here.
Got 3 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
You just got to wonder how frustrated this guy is, especially after the success he had their last game out, but just nothing going in this one. He has not been able to get himself into a rhythm. There's been way too much penetration up front defensively. They have been able to stop him in his tracks.
Makes the grab. It's Bryant. He's pushed out of bounds inside the 40 at the 38, and these guys are on the move.
And what a big conversion by the offense there. With the lead late, you're just trying to stay on the field and bleed the clock. At this point, it's tick, 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 tick. Let's run this clock down as low as we can before we snap it.
Talk about a timely run. Gets the 1st down. Clock keeps moving as they try to finish the deal. So they move the sticks on the run. Let's see what they do with this one. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Time running out, and he goes down at the 34.
Well, the offense trying to stay aggressive, right? You just came up with a huge play, and right away you go back to another pass, but you got to do a better job protecting your quarterback. Can't give up a sack there.
We'll head to the 2-minute timeout. Tight ball game here, and this offense will try to milk the clock. The first down sack pushes the ball back for this long second down. The play action fake. And it's intercepted. A huge fourth quarter play for this defense. Taking it the other way. The tag. Touchdown, Tigers. The defense takes matters into its own hands.
And we knew coming in, these teams were very similar. Both really good football teams, but executing down the stretch might be the difference in the football game. How about that offense? Going down the field, they're an extra point away from tying this up, and we still got more football.
And don't miss the fact there was some heat on that extra point, but he was able to tie it up. They're getting set to kick it away, and that last score took a little oomph out of this crowd. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Starts the drive trying to go up top. Looking to the big tight end. Finds a man on the left. Taken out of bounds after a good pickup there. There he's striking distance at the 37.
Well, how about the offense setting that play up? We've seen earlier in the game a couple shorter throws. They're just trying to suck those safeties closer to the line of scrimmage, anticipating that they would get an opportunity to take a shot. They called the perfect play at the perfect time right there.
I think the run defense, a lot of times late in the game, you always wonder how well it'll hold up. Nice job on this play by this defense, getting in and getting the running back on the ground.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Back to pass. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
3rd and long, defense knows the pass is coming, so they're going to have guys with their eyes on the QB, but they're going to try to get to him with pressure, pinning their ears back. If you're on offense, you might be thinking blitz here. You better get rid of this one quick.
On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
Well, tempo is going to be a big deal right now, but 4th down coming up, trailing, you have to dial up the right play right here, Dave.
And first things first, you got to get the first down. Like, I got to convert this 4th down. The clock is irrelevant at that point. Then I got to kick it in high gear, make some plays, and getting scoring position to try to take the lead.
Going for it on 4th down late in a tie game. This is a huge play. Desperate to convert, and he'll throw it. Moving, keeping the eyes downfield. Looks like Alabama will pick up the first down.
You know, I think in this situation of the game, too, if I'm this guy, I'm thinking the same thing, right? I'm throwing and getting yards, and if it's not there, I'm going to take this game over myself with my legs. We're in the 4th quarter. We've got an opportunity, one possession down, to get back in this thing. I just got to do whatever I got to do to make that happen.
Looking for a physical attack from the gun. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
Well, that's nice by the running back there, showing you his experience and his self-control, because a lot of guys would have tried to bounce that football to the outside, but he understands the assignment. We're in the middle of the field. We need to stay in the middle of the field to give our kicker the best field position and angle possible to go and kick this game-winning field goal.
Wants to pass the clock, an enemy. It's complete to the right. They'll call timeout with 9 seconds left on the clock. The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. He's got it and still on his feet. Huge gain before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. This kicker has missed his only attempt and desperately needs this one for the game. No good. After that failed field goal attempt, fellas, still tie ball game.
Well, that's just one the kicker would love to have back here in the 4th quarter in a tie game.
And they'll take a knee. Well, guys, let's play some more. Headed to overtime.
And this just feels right. Both of these teams going back and forth. So, of course, David, this thing needs to get decided in OT.
Let's see who's better. Short amount of time to do it. A couple possessions, probably, maybe one possession each. Who's the better team?
All right, guys, so here we go in overtime. And just to refresh everyone's memory, alternating possessions starting on the opponent's 25.
And you want to play defense first because you want to know what you need. That's a key philosophical approach for most teams when it comes to overtime, David.
Yeah, and remember the rule change a couple years ago, too, and the second overtime and 2-point conversion. So all this stuff is situational type football that you better have worked on throughout these weeks of the season.
Got it into the red zone, dragged down at the 18-yard line.
Now, when I'm in OT and I start to get in this territory, I gotta be thinking touchdown. Like, what are my plays that I can go to now? I ran the football. I showed a little bit of conservativeness. I gotta take advantage of a shot out wide. What's my best go-to play in this situation?
Well, the running back did a nice job there, keeping his feet moving. He was able to drag some defenders with him to get that 1st down.
1st down, operating in the red zone and doing it in a den of noise. They'll run it to the right side. They get him down, but he was driving his way and gets it down to the 7-yard line.
Man, you play this whole game back and forth into overtime. Now you got a chance to set the tone, run the football in overtime, and be a little physical.
And if you can run the ball and not put it in jeopardy by throwing passes, that's a great way to finish the deal. The give to the back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
Just a couple they need to pick up here on 3rd and short in overtime. This quarterback part of their running game. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it 1st and goal. Here comes 1st and goal as they try to strike here in overtime. The give. Stop behind the line. He'll lose a yard.
And wow, the defense was in there quick, fast, and in a hurry and shut that run game down. Like, they were ready for that 2nd down now. A little more space for the offense, backed up, a little more room to operate and try to maybe find some windows to throw a football. Second receiving touchdown of the ball game. Find ways to get your athletes the ball. They'll do the rest. That's number 2. They better start playing some better defense, and number 3 is coming soon.
And with the extra point, the score is now 21-14. Now on first down, they need to answer with a touchdown. They're going to open this drive with a pass. They're working that left side. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. They go to the ground. He stopped at the 14-yard line, and they'll stay on the attack from there.
Running the ball in OT, and a nice job by the ball carrier, finding his lane, finding his hole, putting his foot in the ground, and getting upfield.
Looking downfield on first down. Got his man in the middle. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Going to work on second down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. Looking to fire. Using his feet to buy time. Looking to the end zone. And that one was way too far for anybody to catch, except for ticket holders.
And that is a huge missed opportunity for the quarterback. You've got your guy wide open in the end zone. You're not under pressure. You just got to hit him. That ball got away, and that's one he'd like to have back.
It's third down, and they need to get it in the end zone to stay in the game here in OT. In the gun, looking to throw on third down. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. The tension, the intensity, the drama, the offense steps to the line on fourth down in overtime. Fires into the end zone. Oh, he dropped it. He just lost his concentration and didn't look it all the way in. Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw two really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, two really good teams, and that's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Palmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. Two ranked opponents evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.